Hey everybody, this is Mace1370 back for another 8-4 draft. We have a pretty strong pack here. There's quite a few cards that are very high in power level. I think our pick is going to be Martial Law. It basically just keeps their best creature off the board for the rest of the game. You can retarget it as needed. Extremely strong card. Enchantments, are a little harder to deal with once they get laid down. Other good cards in the pack, Ultimate Price is a pretty decent piece of removal. I'm always happy to run it if I'm in black. Golgari Decoy is a fairly strong creature. It can, in the game if they don't have an answer for it. That said, it's pretty easy to answer. It's just a 2/2. So sometimes it doesn't end up having as much of an impact as you would hope. Tristani's Judgment is good removal, but I think Martial Law is just way better. So we don't need to take that. Sunspire Griffin also pretty good, and Slime Molding is good. So is Tower Drake. So this is a very deep pack. Okay, interesting. Don't really know where we want to go from this, or in this pack. We have several options. I think the best card is Annihilating Fire. If we wanted to take another white card, we could take Rootborn Defenses, but I think that's going a little too far in. So I think Annihilating Fire being the best card here is just what we take. Unfortunately, it's not very splashable, and white-red is not, a super good color combination to be in. Like, you can make it work, but it's just not very good. Giant Growth is also a decent card, although, it's not nearly as good as Annihilating Fire, and we don't know if green will be open, so just kind of blindly taking that when we could just take a better card seems wrong. Dead Reveler is another strong card. Probably the second strongest after Annihilating Fire. I mean, Rootborn Defenses is very good. It can be quite a blowout, but I think Annihilating Fire is the best card in the pack, so we'll take that and see where the draft goes. It's possible we just, might not end up playing it, but I don't really know it's going to be open in the future, so we'll see. But for this pack, there's not a good red card, and this pack is pretty weak overall. We could take a Phantom General. I think that's probably what we're going to end up taking. It's a white card, so it goes with our first pick, and Phantom General can be pretty strong if you get a lot of tokens. I like it a lot, with like Eye in the Sky. Making two 2/2 flyers is definitely much more value than two 1/1 flyers. So yeah, we'll take that card, and hopefully the white keeps flowing. Wow, that's a Teleportal, and a Splatter Thug. But, there's also a Sunspire Griffin and a Hussar Patrol. This is tough. So for the fourth pick, we also have an Eye in the Sky here, too. I don't think we want to take Teleportal. That's just kind of slamming and trying to, force our way into Izzet, which I guess you could do. But Splatter Thug is probably the best card in the pack. But we really do want to play Martial Law, and Phantom General is pretty good. That said, Annihilating Fire is very good too. Getting a Splatter Thug fourth pick could be a signal. It's usually a card I see taken a lot earlier. This is tough. I think I have to take the Griffin here though. I just prefer being white more than red in this draft format. Maybe that's biasing my my pick here a little. I think Splatter Thug is a better card. Alright, so here, Selesnya Sentry is the only straight-up white card, and it's not very good. I think the pick is probably Dramatic Rescue. We could end up in white-blue, and it's a very strong card if you do end up in that color combination. So I think we'll take that. There's really no other notable cards in this pack. Assassin Strike is okay. I think it's most playable in a control-ish Golgari deck. Not very playable in Rakdos. Alright, well, blue is probably open if we get a Void Wielder this late, so that's a good sign. Haven't seen really any white for the last couple picks, but, we did pick up a few good white cards in the beginning, so I would like to end up in white. But I think the Void Wielder is definitely the pick here. It's the strongest card in the pack, and it goes with our Dramatic Rescue. Furthermore, there's no, good white or red card that we could really take over it, so we'll do that. Okay, so now we have probably a Rootborn Defenses. It's a decent card. It doesn't, really go as well in Selesnya as it does in, in Azorius as it does in Selesnya. But it's still a decent combat trick. You can still blow people out with it. If you have Eye in the Sky tokens, you can still get value. Knightly Valor, can get value off of it as well. Goblin Rally is a strong card. It's a decent finisher if you're in Izzet or Rakdos. Trestle Troll, good if you're in Golgari, but these packs have been kind of unexciting, overall. So here we get to choose between either Paralyzing Grasp or Fall of the Gavel. Fall of the Gavel is probably a better sideboard card. I'm not excited about playing either one of those. I don't think either of them would ever make the main deck unless things went way bad. So we'll get rid of that. Here we could take a Transguild Promenade on the off chance that we want to splash something. I think we'd probably just take the Ethereal Armor. We don't have any enchantments yet, but if we pick up a couple more, and if we stay blue, then there's a good chance that that'll happen. So I think we take the Ethereal Armor here. Alright, now I think we do just take the Transguild. We don't really want to conjure Currency or a Bizarre Cravade. This card is fairly unexciting. I would really just rather have an Armory Guard if I wanted a 2/5 in my deck. So yeah, we'll take that. So now we can choose between either Crosstown Courier or Downsize. Neither exciting. I think we take Downsize for the sideboard. It's a late Runewing, so that's a nice pickup. Surprised that made it around. I don't really remember exactly what was in that pack though, so it's possible it was loaded. Can play a Shrieking of Friction. Alright, another stacked pack. We have Skymark Rock, which is almost certainly our pick, and that really does tip us into Azorius. I'm going to go ahead and hide this Annihilating Fire. Don't think it's going to make the cut. It's just too awkward to splash double red. We have a Knightly Valor, which is one of the best white commons. Also a Runewing, which isn't terrible. Probably not getting Knightly Valor back because there's no other white card in this pack, but pretty happy to open a Skymark Rock. That card is nuts. Wow, and there's a Groin Ranks. Very strong card. I don't think it's... I don't know if this card is like playable in Azorius. Seems kind of like counter to what Azorius is trying to do. Like you just don't get enough tokens in Azorius to really make it good, I think. So I think Knightly Valor is the pick here. It's very strong. Gives us a token for Phantom General, and it's another enchantment for Ethereal Armor if we want to end up running that. So yeah, I think Knightly Valor is the pick there. Hopefully Tower Drake comes back around, but probably won't. Alright, so we have a few options. Let's see, Cost Sort. We don't have any 6-drops, and Asperia Skywatch is not the worst. We'll probably end up taking that one. Swift Justice is an okay pump spell. Dryad Militant actually also might be an option. I feel like I do, or I usually don't have problems getting a lot of 6-drops in Azorius, but I'm not really sure like the place of Dryad Militant as a 2/1. I mean, I guess it's okay if you have things like Ethereal Armor to like force damage through later. Not super thrilled about it though. I think I'd prefer to stay on the flyer path, so I'm going to take the Skywatch. Alright, not much here. We could take an Inspiration or an Armory Guard. I don't really see us like really wanting or needing either of those. Inspiration just seems like a really slow card. And we don't have any guild gates to make this guy particularly playable. And really I'd rather just be playing Hussar Patrols in his spot. So maybe we just take the Inspiration. I guess we'll take the Armory Guard. He's okay. We have so many 4-drops at this point though. Okay, so for this pack, we could do a couple things. We could take an Eye in the Sky, and that makes the Phantom General more playable. We could also take a Fairy Imposter, which I think is the pick here because we have a Void Wielder. Fairy Imposter also gets you out of things like Stab Wound and other bad enchantments like Arrest. So I like having answers to those types of cards. It's an uncommon, so we probably won't see it again. Eye in the Sky, I feel like we'll probably have another opportunity to pick one of those up. Pretty unexciting pack. I guess we'll just take the Swift Justice. Yeah, there's not much else for us here. I don't think we need another Fall of the Gavel. Alright, so now we can either take Avenging Arrow or Concordia Pegasus. Huh. I don't really know which of these is better. I want to say Concordia Pegasus just because we don't have very many 2-drops. So we'll play that. We might not main deck it. It might be, you know, like a sideboard thing. Seen the same print run over and over, so that's pretty exciting when that happens. I guess we take another Swift Justice. Probably won't play both. Alright. I don't think we want either of these Guild Gates. They don't really help us do anything, so we'll take the cancel. Not much for us here. Could just take an Electrickery. So, you know, if we pick up any Tower Drakes, they don't get killed. Seems okay. Here's that lovely print run again. I guess we'll take another Swift Justice. I guess we'll take a Grim Roustabout since it's the best card in the pack. Take a Selesnya Guildgate because that's a super late Guildgate. Trying to think of a green card that we might want to splash later, but not too much green that you want to splash. So pack 2 is not too good to us. You know, we opened the Rock and that was nice. We sent a Growing Ranks though upstream from us, which is probably not good for the next pack. Possibly push someone into Selesnya, so our white might get cut. We'll see what pack 3 does for us. Blue didn't seem incredibly open either way though. Here's another awkward 4-drop. We just have so many of these things. It's looking like, I guess I'm probably not playing Armor Guard and Phantom General. Might not even make the cut. There's a Hussar Patrol, which is good, but Soulshorn Spirit is just better. And it's probably the best card in the pack. So, I mean, I guess Lava Crew might be close. Take the Spirit. He's a good beater. Gonna need to pick up some quality cards. Void Wielder is definitely one of them. But we need more cheap flyers. We have a lot of like expensive stuff, but we don't have much of an early game right now. So we need to start valuing lower costed flyers more. There are none in this pack, so I guess we'll take the Inaction Injunction. Not really sure if, you know, we should be in a different guild right now. Just looking at the card quality, I'm not like super thrilled about what's coming around in general. So I'd probably be unhappy regardless of where I was at this point. But yeah, we're gonna have to pick up a decent amount of playables this pack since we're definitely not playing all 3 of these. Maybe not even playing the Ethereal Armor if we don't get another enchantment or 2. Okay, this is not very good. We could take a Selesnya Sentry, not so good. We could take an Inspiration, we don't really want that. I think we just probably want the Dryad Militant. It's a beater. You can also go the Mad Dryad Militant turn 1, attack with it, and then play Fairy Impostor and replay it for the Pseudo Vigilance on turn 2. Tremendously powerful combo. But yeah, I'm not excited about this deck so far. I feel like we're just not getting the playables we really need. Pack is also taking a while to make its way around the table. Doesn't look like anyone is disconnected yet, though. The magic, oh, here we go. Alright. So I guess we'll just pick up another Fairy Impostor. We have double Void Wielder now. We have another Soulstorm Spirit. We could bounce and replay to lock something down. That's less exciting, than the Void Wielder, obviously. And there's really nothing else for us here. I mean, like, there is an explosive impact, but we don't. I mean, I guess we have the Promenade, but I think, we'll just take the Fairy Imposter. Definitely a weird deck, though. I mean, like, my 3 slot is usually much fuller than this when I play Azorius. Oh, someone did disconnect. There we go, yeah. They're back now, though, apparently. So that probably accounts for the delay in packs going around. Haven't had a chance to play with the new beta client. I wonder if they're also doing server upgrades in the background, though. I haven't really been keeping track of it. I remember when like Magic 2.5 moved to 3.0, I think they did do some server stuff to increase the stability, because I remember drafts just like constantly crashing. Alright, so we can take a Hussar Patrol, which is probably the pick. We just don't have a lot of like early tempo to make an inaction injunction like pretty sweet. And I think we just need dudes at this point, and Hussar Patrol is a dude. So we'll take him. And the Phantom General might not even be making the cut here. Like, our curve is super awkward. Keening Apparition is playable, so we'll take that. Kind of like, where have all the flyers gone? That's a 3rd Void Wielder. I guess I can't complain about having 3 of these and 2 Fairy Imposters. I can't just kind of bounce them forever. So now we can either take a Doorkeeper or an Armory Guard. I don't think Armory Guard is going to help us here. Like, our 4 slot's clogged. I guess I'll take the Doorkeeper. I don't know if I'll end up playing it. Probably not. Just take a Train Caracal and maybe put it in the sideboard. I guess I don't want to get Minotaur Agrest or Traitorsly Instinct. Take a second Doorkeeper. Win conditions. Alright, so here we are in deck building with our mediocre pile. Putting these 2 in, putting that in, probably, hopefully not playing the Doorkeepers, might be playing the Cancel. All 3 of our Void Wielders and the Skywatch. Probably not putting the Ethereal Armor, probably at least 1 Swift Justice. Probably going to have to play the Pegasus. Hopefully not the Rootborn Defenses, doesn't really do anything for us. Maybe 1 Armory Guard. Probably not a Phantom General, because we just don't really have any tokens to abuse it with. I mean, we have like Knightly Valor and that's it. We can play a Dryad Militant, we can play a Skymark Rock and a Hussar Patrol and a Dramatic Rescue. So, let's see. Pull our spells down. Yeah, that's one awkward curve. So, I guess we'll probably play the Cancel, since we might not have anything better to do on turn 3 anyways. We have to somehow muster up 3 more cards. We didn't get any Dispels either, that's kind of disappointing. Well, Rootborn Defenses is a trick. It's not a great one, but it is a trick, and it's in the 3 slot, so we can do that. That'll help our curve. Let's see. I don't really want to just put something else in the 4 like Armor Guard, so we could play a second Swift Justice. Again, not very exciting. Yeah, and only having the Ethereal Armor with just the... Oh, I guess we have Martial Law too, so that's 3 enchantments though. I don't think that makes Ethereal Armor playable in our deck. We could put in Follow the Gavel. Doesn't seem very good. We have a lot of 5 drops. So we're going to be wanting to do stuff like replay Void Wielder over and over, so we won't really be able to just drop a bunch of stuff and then leave 5 mana open. We could put in a Doorkeeper just as like a dork to block. That seems bad. I'd probably just rather have an Armory Guard at that point. We don't even, I guess we have a Selesnya Guildgate, but we don't want to run that just to be able to give Armory Guard Vigilance. Nothing to really splash either. We could put a Transguild Promenade to try and splash something, but we didn't really pick anything up. Alright, I guess we're just playing Armory Guard. It's kind of boring, but I think it's just better than Doorkeeper, so... Alright, let's see what Moto says for lands. Forests? Oh, for the Militant. No, let's not do that. I guess we'll just bump up the white by 1. Alright, this is rather unimpressive deck. Hopefully we'll get there somehow. I'll see you in round 1.